What is up, everyone? I'm Will Carr. This is the last Sunday of November 2025. And if you can believe it, we are 1 month away from 2026. This is the Diginacci Sequence. We are hyped to be here again today. I've got three of my best friends, Phil Spinuzza, Crypto Heavy, and XRP Sean. And we're going to get into it today because, guys, guess what? I don't know that there's really a whole lot to talk about, but what I'm most pumped about is that our episode last week got over 700.
Man, over
Let's go.
30 comments, had some haters in there. We
Love the
welcome
haters.
you. We welcome you.
We love you, haters.
Yeah. Let's
Love
talk.
it.
Keep
Love it.
calling us stupid. We'll show you who's stupid. If you
These
just
guys don't know
listen
what
to
they're
the
talking
rest
about.
of this
Just a bunch of
episode
guys
today,
on
you're
TV.
gonna really
Listen up, guys. We're just a bunch of bros that are having a conversation about crypto and some other things. You know, if you like it, great. That's awesome. Stick around. If not, there's plenty of other people to watch out there.
Literally.
Yeah, go
Literally.
listen to the Bitcoin Maxi guys tell you about how much they like living with their moms.
Mm. Well, how did everybody's Thanksgiving go?
It was good, man. Good. Enjoyed it. Good food, man. Always a good time.
Yeah,
Phil?
down in Nashville with the family, so that's always fun. And I'm exhausted from it, of course. Got back late last night, but great times. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we had Chinese food for the first time in my life.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
ordered it. Man, you want to talk about easy? You know, I usually slave away the whole day making something. And we just ordered Chinese food, and when we picked it up, that guy looked so overwhelmed. My God. I gave him a fat tip, and when we got home, we were missing a large part of our order. But, you know, that's just how it goes.
He was hungry.
Yeah.
He thought he was going to take the tip before he knew how much you were going to tip him. I was on the road. I was on the road all day on Thanksgiving. I was driving back. This last week I got to drive down. I went to University Central Oklahoma, gave a talk to their student athletes just about being good people. What do they want to do next in their life? And, start thinking about that before they're done being college athletes. And then from Edmond, Oklahoma, drove to Huntsville, Alabama, and went and gave a talk to the athletes there at University of Alabama, Huntsville. And that was interesting because I was going to kind of give the same talk to those guys that I gave at UCO, but then their basketball coach kind of and it was interesting. Like, anyone that's an athlete's going to get this. But I was talking with their basketball coach the day before because I went to there and watched their game. And UAH is just killing this year, which is cool. It's cool to see because that's also I was at school there for 2 years, played basketball there. But their coach is kind of like, we've had a lot of guys come in and talk about character development. Like, just don't wait. He basically told me not to waste the guy's time and to keep it to like 15, 20 minutes. That fired me up, guys. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. I was like, you think I'm going to talk about anything that's remotely close to something that, like, the sheriff came in telling your kids not to do drugs? I'll probably encourage them to do things like nicotine gum and so I made it completely different. And I basically spent the entire 20 minutes ripping into these kids, telling them that they're absolutely cooked and that they have absolutely no chance of a future if they don't get ahead of AI and robotics, because none of them are going to have jobs in 3 years. And so I basically spent the entire 20 minutes telling them that if they don't figure out how to get ahead and use AI and how to get on board with blockchain before this revolution happens, that they have absolutely no chance in life. I just ripped into him for 20. And I explained to him like what fractional reserve banking was. None of the kids. I was like, do any of you understand fractional reserve banking? None of them had any clue. Business majors, engineers, like none of them had any idea. And I'm like, guys, you are not just going to walk out of here and get a job. You have to understand the way that banks use your money to make money on you. And that's what we can do with blockchain. you have the opportunity to be your own bank. You can provide liquidity to liquidity pools. And I'm not going to be able to have this conversation with kids in 2030 because the opportunity is going to be gone already. So anyway, that's what I did. So then I had a 20-hour drive back home. So that's why I was on the road
That's
on
awesome, man.
Thanksgiving. But yeah, it was cool. It was really fun. Like I had a blast, you know, and it was fun. Like I think an interesting reflection for me was I hadn't had a coach. Like, and honestly, now I love this coach, you know, because at first this guy, he got under my skin a little, you know, he got under my skin. I was kind of like, you know, my ego was a little bit, you know, like he poked. And then I was like, that's what good coaches do though. Like I gave such a better speech to those student athletes because I was a little bit on edge, like fired up versus just complacent, walking in there, giving another speech like I always do. So
I think it probably had more value for him though. Like it's something to be said about being real with people and not just seeing what they want you to say, like the political answer that makes everybody feel happy and comfortable and everybody's a winner. And just being honest with somebody and telling them, hey man, no, y'all, if you don't do this, guess what? You won't have a job. Your future is going to be less likely to be successful if you don't start positioning yourself now. I mean, sports is fine. Be the greatest you can be, but most people ain't making it into the NBA. They're not making it into the NFL. So like that dream that you have is potentially something that can be wasted away if you get injured or if something happens where you get, you know, life happens. So you need to be positioned with AI, blockchain, and things like that. And I think that's college level. Just imagine like being able to talk to people that's in high school, like,
yeah,
or even earlier than that, because to be honest, they're not getting taught any of that stuff. They don't know anything about banking. They barely know about credit cards. They barely know about, you know, what their tax score is. You know, it's just very surface level for the kids nowadays, unfortunately. And the things they need to know about, they don't get taught. They basically get taught how to be a good student of working a 9 to 5 for the rest of your life. That's what they get taught. Show up to class, be on time, do this structure, clock in, clock out, and get prepared for like what's going to happen in corporate America. We need good soldiers in corporate America, not free thinkers who want to be their own bank and think outside the box. So challenging them is awesome, man. That's really good of you.
You mean I can't go on to be a CEO of a huge company with this participation trophy I just got?
You would think you could. So let them tell it.
Your ninth place medal.
Yeah, like
hey man, the ribbon's still blue, bro. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. It says first right there.
There's either a ghost in Phil's house or his dog just opened the door.
Yeah, I saw that door open. What's going on back there?
Yeah, it's the dogs. They're always trying to get on this show.
What kind of dog? What kind of dogs you got?
I've got 2 little cockapoos, Cocker Spaniel Poodle mixes.
Hey man, that took some thought to get those breeds.
Yeah.
I feel like Phil's covering for the ghost that lives in his house.
Yeah.
The ghost told Phil if he exposes him that he's hurting him in the middle of the night.
Yeah, so my oldest pit bull turned 15 years old today. She's hanging out on the couch across from me, just being a badass. But, you know, we started recording all these birthdays one at a time, starting at age 10, thinking, you know, everyone was so special. But, man, I think she's going to be 20 years old before she goes. It's unbelievable.
15 for a pit bull is crazy, man. That's pretty old for that breed.
She looks crazy. But I'll tell you guys a little bit about what Will and I did yesterday.
Yeah, tell us, Sean.
Man, I am so exhausted right now. But
I don't want to hear it.
Went out to this property in the middle of nowhere in Colorado, hoping to record the last day of our short film. And if the winds weren't 50 miles an hour for the longest time, I mean, it was just, you know, we're sitting in this RV and it's just shaking and rattling. I'm like, I don't know how we're going to get any of this done. So the wind forecast until about 50 minutes before the sun was just gone was just murderous. So we went out there and we recorded this. I mean, I don't even think we slapped a slate, man. Not one single little take 3. Like there was none of that. It was insanely fast. And we had a pyrotechnics team that are there just sitting, waiting to blow this boat up.
17
Was it 17?
I'm guessing
I think
somewhere between 12 to 20 fire.
I think I literally counted 18 in one point. So this whole county, like every single fireman showed up, and we're just waiting to see this happen. So we finally get to make it happen, and this boat blows up, and all the actors are super excited. We go crowd into this 23-foot RV, and everyone's taking champagne shots because the project's over. And I couldn't feel more beat. I'm sitting out there in these fishing waders and the sweatshirt. I didn't get to wear gloves yesterday because I can't operate my camera gear without them. Or, it's just like my fingers have to be touching everything. And so by the time it was over, I was just beat. We had to let the landowners know, like, hey, man, we're not leaving tonight. We're sleeping right here. And so this morning,
Such a sick property, though. Before you dive into the next thing, I just want to say this property is awesome. Like, to find a set of 6 alpine lakes in Colorado in itself is tough. But this has been like a family property for 5+ generations. What did they say they settled in like 1846 or something, Sean? Like,
it was
ridiculous.
It was 1894, and
Okay.
they had to offload thousands of acres during the Depression just to survive. 700 acres, and I think there's 6 or 7 lakes on the property, and it was incredible. The landowners were great. Families stopped by and watched, and it was really cool. But man, I'm exhausted. I'm so exhausted. Then we woke up this morning, and the first thing my wife did was go out to the lake, and at this point, she's out there like 200 feet on ice.
Well, first, Alex asked me, she's like, Will, can you help me get this boat out on the lake so she can paddle? So I go and grab this boat, pull it all the way to the lake, and try to toss it in. The lake is frozen. and she gets in the boat and she's like jumping in it. And I'm like, Alex, even if you break through the ice here, you're not going to be able to paddle anywhere.
Yeah, he's stuck. He's stuck in this little hole.
The lake is frozen.
It's like a
Man,
little.
I was
ducky
sitting there
in the pool.
I was sitting there telling her, like, babe, like, what? Like, we have so much insurance for this property, but like, this can't hack it. But my brother-in-law was recording her walking out there. And I don't know if you've seen the videos where people are ice skating on thin ice and you hear all that kind of. I mean, this was happening while she's walking on it, but
yeah, because it wasn't frozen the day before. It froze last night.
No, and she luckily recovered the 2 arrows that we fired in it and all the rope that we had out there. And it was.
Is it snowing in Colorado or is it just cold as hell?
I mean, it's snowing right now at my house.
Just started snowing. Like, we finally are getting our first snow.
Yesterday, it was 20 degrees with 50-mile-an-hour wind, and I'm just sitting there. There's no hat that would stay on my head. There's no. It was awful. I mean, I still feel just.
Yes. You're like, I'm just happy that it's over, my guy. I
feel like a beat dog. So today, when Will was like, all right, you guys, you ready for this podcast? I'm like, man, I don't even know what we're going to talk about. I think we should talk about conspiracies for 20 minutes. I honestly could care less. And judging by the comment section last week, it just doesn't matter. We're 4 guys spread out over the country that just love to talk about the future and who knows what. And Will's got a really cool project. I at least want you to mention it today. I don't know, you told me for the first time yesterday, but I think you should mention it since we're talking about film right now.
Well, how about that? I'll mention this project after you explain to everybody what our sleeping situations were last.
Okay. So first of all, Will is 6'10" and a half. He's the largest human that I know personally. And we're in this 23-foot RV. So my brother-in-law, who's like 5'7" or something, he sleeps on the little table thing that folds out into a bed. Our producer, DW, was up above the driver's seats. And my wife and I were in the back actual bed. None of us had blankets. nobody had pillows, and Will had this sleeping mat that was maybe 6 foot long. So here he is
It
hanging.
was like 5 foot.
Oh my gosh! So he's hanging across it, and I mean we're out there freezing, and every 5 minutes, Will is like, "Can we turn the heater up? Like I'm so cold down here." And then I think I woke up at maybe 4 or 5 in the morning, and my wife was shivering, and she's like, "I'm so cold." So I put her against the wall, and like I just laid on top of her. And I
dang.
think we made it, but it was rough to say the least. And
Shoot.
you know, I'm kind of scared to look at all the footage because it just happened so fast. I mean, we had a goat out there, and you know, I don't
The
know.
fact that
I'll be
there's a
able to.
goat in Sean's movie, you guys are just gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, it's gonna be epic, but I'm kind of anxious to see all the footage because everything happened so quickly. We didn't have time to tell everybody to walk here, do this, do that. Like I barely had time to tell our audio engineer, like you know, or ask him, are you rolling? Are we at speed? Are we ready to do this? It was just like, okay, we got to do this. Go, 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 go. And, you know, meanwhile, there's 30 other people standing around and we're screaming quiet on the set every 5 minutes. And it didn't matter. I have no clue how it's going to turn out at this point. But if I had another several $1,000s in my pocket, I think we'd probably shoot it again. So I don't know. I'm just
That's gonna
tired.
come out okay.
I'm wearing this fishing shirt I got in Florida. I don't care. There's like 3 XRP shirts in my closet. I was like, this one's fine. Let's go. So I
The
don't know.
market
Cheers.
for like crypto has been just so flat. Like I haven't really paid attention. It's been just the normal stuff, man. So like nothing crazy, no up and down, just no news. So it's just like
Been
Sometimes
dumping the last hour.
no news is so. Wait, what?
XRP went all the way back to 205. Bitcoin got back down into like 86 something. And now
recently.
Bitcoin's at 87.4. XRP's at 208.
Is silver still crushing? What's the deal?
Dude, that's the only thing in the portfolio that's making me happy right now. 57.20 for silver.
57.20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was one comment in our last video that I guess maybe alluded to the fact we don't talk about precious metals. So we're going to use this next 30.5 seconds to talk about you should
33.
invest in precious metals if you haven't been for the past 20 years. I don't know where you've been, but you know, at 57 it might be late. I don't know.
No,
I got it.
silver's about to go to $700 an ounce, my guy.
Yeah, is that
Silver
speculation or what's the deal?
Well,
Peter Schiff said
if
it
you
or what?
adjust the money supply for the previous all-time high at $48 and you adjust the money supply to now, that would make a $700 silver roughly. So
Huh.
I mean,
silver's all-time high measured in money supply would be $700 right now.
All right, that's 30 seconds. Let's move on. Go ahead, Durant.
no, I was gonna say I do think it's undervalued, but
Yeah.
700 sounds crazy. But
Yeah,
I wouldn't be mad if it did. I own a substantial amount of silver.
We're going through a
I've been
financial
accumulating
reset.
for like 5 years.
Well,
These valuations that are about to come are going to be crazy. People are going to look back and be like, how did I not see it?
when you look at how silver is used in all of our technology right now, from the computers that we're all using to all of our cell phones, I mean, that silver that's going to waste. Who's gonna sit there and dig out every little bead of silver that's used in our technology right now? Not a lot of people. So, you know, the fact that silver is being used at a rate because of its conductivity, and there's being less of it mined than gold every day, and all the shorts for the longest time, probably for our entire lives, the longest short position ever held has been against silver. So, and I'm not sure if anybody here is into paper silver trading, but I'm sorry.
You went way over
out of that.
33 seconds, Sean.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
On you.
Moving on.
This is a serious show.
So serious right now. And none of you guys have mentioned the fact that I'm not wearing a beanie right now. Okay.
I saw it, but you were so tired. I said you literally just said you couldn't keep a hat on your head. So I was like, he gave up. He gave up on that.
Sean's too tired to be cool tonight.
You know, I had to have the locks roll down, and part of me feels like Phil has tried this length of hair at some point in his life. You know, good. You know,
It's all
tell us, Phil.
curls. All
All
curls.
curls.
And yeah, it's terrible.
Is that
Curly
is that the Italian background you got going on for you?
Probably. I'm not quite sure where those girls come from, but it gets crazy.
So
Yeah.
just like a straight Richard Simmons.
Basically, yeah.
Work it out.
Yeah. I wish it was straight. If it was straight, I'd grow it out super long.
Well, I mean, is there anything assuring coming up on the horizon for altcoins?
Well, we got more ETFs that are supposed to be launched. I mean, I think we've
Next
got
Friday, ain't it?
there's more XRP ETFs that are supposed to be coming, but I think there's like a couple more Sol and HBAR ones, if I'm not mistaken.
So
I think they said the market waiting for the Fed because it's supposed to be kind of doing the easing starting on Monday. So that may bring liquidity into some of the riskier markets. We'll see. But that's the only big thing that I've seen people talking about.
Is the
They
Fed
could
meeting
have some
Friday?
impact. Huh?
QE's
It take effect on Monday. They start QE on Monday.
Yeah, that would be good. I don't know if you guys or anyone out there listening have been following Chad Stein Grabber, but he's been covering ETFs quite well. And I
Yeah.
think I personally underestimated the potential that the spot ETFs are going to bring to price discovery. And if this guy's right, man, 2026 could be massive thanks to the ETFs. And I'm starting to think that they're going to have more of an impact on price evaluation than anything else we're looking at in the near term. And when I say near term, I'm talking 1 to 2 years. So I'm really excited and bullish on what the ETFs can do.
aren't the ETFs chewing up some 40 to 50% of the what's available in the market right now?
One exchange, I forget which one, took a 40% hit on XRP supply. They're starting to make an impact, and we're
Yeah.
still early.
And that's some of the bigger ones too that just dropped, like the Grayscales and Franklin Templeton. So like we're not even talking about the other 20 that's supposed to come in this month.
Right.
Yeah.
Still a
And those
lot
don't
to
even count the big
into
dogs.
December.
The big rumor this week was that BlackRock was filing. BlackRock and Fidelity were filing for their spot ETF approvals this week. That's the big rumor. And that
I don't
obviously,
even think that we need BlackRock, man, to be honest with you. Like I understand the significance of it just because it's BlackRock supporting it. So like it's gonna bring in more people, but I don't think with some of the other big ones we already have, I don't think that BlackRock I doubt that they do it. I think it's just a rumor. I think that we want them to do it just for like the mental part of it. But like in reality, like they already behind and they're gonna be behind 25 other companies that's doing it. You know what I mean? That big pop that they would have got like they did with Bitcoin, they're not gonna get. Not to say that they won't still sell a significant amount and eat up a significant amount, but I don't think it'll have the same impact as like a Grayscale's having or Canary had. You know what I mean?
well,
It's something to say about being the first one to the punch.
I
Well,
have
I
a
mean,
hard time believing that BlackRock's not going to get involved, especially when their director of digital assets spoke at Ripple Swell this year. I can't possibly imagine the director of digital assets for BlackRock will speak at Ripple Swell and not file for a spot ETF or help his company, encourage them to do so. I think it's only a matter of time. They're
well, the
definitely,
thing I think to understand too is the Canary Capital, which is a fraction of the size of BlackRock,
yeah.
their XRP ETF day one did over 5x what the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF did day one.
Well, BlackRock has $13.5 trillion worth of assets under management right now.
Mhm.
I mean, a small percentage of that could drive any crypto price significantly.
Yeah. And Will, real quick, you mentioned BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF. They claim this week that is their most profitable investment product. So they're watching what the XRP ETF has done. They're
Yeah.
licking their lips to get in on that. If their Bitcoin ETF was their most profitable product, yeah, they're coming on board for sure.
But yeah,
Just imagine what XRP would do with
that's
BlackRock then.
Yeah,
that's the point I was trying to make
Yeah.
was if Canary is doing X on day one with XRP that BlackRock did on day one with
Yeah.
Bitcoin, when BlackRock does actually file, they're going to come out and do X on XRP day one that they did on Bitcoin day one. Like, that's just the math, in my opinion. If Canary can raise 5X of BlackRock on day one, like, clearly there's an insane amount more institutional demand for XRP than there is for Bitcoin. It just is what it is. It's
I
just
mean, their
math.
total value of holdings is $75 billion and about 800,000 Bitcoin, representing 3.8% of all Bitcoin. That's their ETF right now.
Yeah.
That's massive.
It's huge. And don't underestimate Fidelity. There are a lot of people with 4Ks tied up
Yeah.
in Fidelity, myself
Yeah.
included. And the second they have an XRP spot ETF, I'm buying into it just because I have to, I feel like, personally.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you can.
Mine is the same way. I'm definitely doing it as soon as they get it.
Yeah. Well, you haven't rolled over into like an iTrust or something. Why wouldn't you? I
Right.
had a friend do that the other day. He sent me, he's like, okay, what are all the XRP ETFs? Because he was putting money in his retirement account into the current XRP ETFs. So I sent him the list. I don't know which one he bought, but
I
yeah.
think Grayscale is 0% fee. DXRP is the ticker.
Is that kind of an umbrella ETF with multiple holdings underneath it?
Not that I'm aware of, but I know eToro is working on one. If anyone's on eToro, they've got a really cool umbrella ETF coming out that's going to track like ISO coins and a few other products.
Does
Nah, it's
anybody
we here, man. We at the this part of the market where it's kind of stale, and at any moment in any day it could take off. That's how I feel. So I haven't been really paying attention because I'm like, the news is the news at this point, man. I think it's just gonna be a catalyst that's gonna happen, and we're gonna start seeing prices go crazy.
Are they
Yeah.
talking about the Clarity Act going through in the next quarter?
Yeah,
I mean, how
Yeah.
how long are we gonna wait for that?
I think it
Crazy.
was just a bunch of talk, man. They wanted to get it done before the end of the year, but like I think the government shutdown went longer than they expected. Now they talking first quarter of 2026.
Yeah, the shutdown stalled it.
Yeah. These and the government officials, they're not going to work too hard to try to like push anything through right now. They too busy fighting against each other and throwing shit at each other. So not doing real work right now.
Unless it's just an easy vote and they're all told to pass it,
Well,
which I think is possible.
By who?
Right.
Sean wanted to talk about conspiracies. Here we go.
By who?
Who?
Are we talking Donnie T? Come on,
I
man.
mean, do you think our government officials, our senators and our representatives, they work for the people, right? We voted them in. They're there to do our will. They're there to do our bidding, right?
Does anybody here think that they stopped getting paid during the government shutdown?
We know
No,
they did.
they didn't. It's something in their contract or in whatever that said that they gotta get paid. Even if they said they didn't get paid, they still got paid. They have to. Like they don't have a way to not get paid. So those scammers definitely got paid while everybody else was not getting paid.
Okay, we're gonna make the round since we were texting about it earlier. We're gonna talk about conspiracies. We're gonna start with Phil here. Phil, out of the past, who knows, 10, 20, 30 years, what is the conspiracy theory that has intrigued your highest interest?
And bonus points if it's come true.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think I've touched on almost every conspiracy theory out there. I spend way too much time going down rabbit holes all over the place. A lot of them that I'm most intrigued with, really don't think I can even talk on this show. We'd probably get in trouble or banned or yeah. I've got a lot of questions regarding who truly was behind JFK 9/11. You guys probably know who I think was behind it.
Yeah.
We're not gonna say. Yeah, tied into the guy from
One of our 94 subs might turn us in.
yeah.
Hey man, if we got 94 subs and 700 plus views, I mean, come on guys, just
Yes.
go ahead and click that like and subscribe button for our 19th episode next. But okay, Phil, I feel that. Let's move on over to Crypto Heavy. What do you got for us?
I'm kind of the same. The biggest one for me is the Island Guy one, and like just the the theatrics that they got for this whole scenario right now is just it's so funny because I can watch it and see that we'll never get the answer, right? We'll never know. But they keep trying to will us alone to say, hey, let's think about it, let's talk about it, and let's see who's on this supposed list. We all know in reality that it's probably half the people that's in our government currently or in the past, and some of the beloved people that everybody loves that don't want to see on the list. And if it was truly Donnie T, trust and believe, it would have been out already. That's a fact. It's a damn fact. So like clearly it's something else happening behind the scenes. And I just think that it's all a theater. I would love to know because I think the bastards should all fry, but like we'll never know. And I think it's just it's a distraction for shit that's happening that's really happening. Like I saw something, somebody sent me an article about like Alaska getting hit with like a hurricane or something, this crazy hurricane. Is that true? Have y'all seen that? Have y'all heard anything about that?
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, it happened like a few days ago, like in Alaska. So it's people that is missing and all kind of shit. And I ain't seen it on
What?
TV at all. So it's just crazy, like real world things is happening, but all we see is like this political theater bullshit that
Yeah.
is happening in
Hey,
real time.
for sure, for sure. I'm with you on that. Sean, to really answer your question, HARP, Bluebeam, Antarctica, Flat
Yeah.
Earth, where are we on that one? The Firmament, Hollow Earth. My God, Three Eye Atlas is deeply intriguing right now. What's really going on there?
Psyop.
Psyops, yeah. Oh my God. The Mandela effect is always fun. That's a crazy one. I love seeing Mandela effect, comparisons. I mean, there are countless. They're so intriguing.
All right, Will, what you got for us?
Man. Well, I think I'd say one of my favorite conspiracies that isn't a conspiracy even is really just Jekyll Island, understanding how the Federal Reserve came to be, understanding the Titanic and how the four wealthiest people in America that opposed the creation of the Federal Reserve were on the Titanic, and that JP Morgan, who was one of the leading proponents for the Federal Reserve, decided not to go on the Titanic the day of. So, and I guess so that, and the only reason the Titanic there is interesting to me is just because of how it ties into the Federal Reserve and that creation. So that's one of my favorite ones, just because, I'm obviously intrigued by financial news and markets, hence why we have the Diginacci sequence. But as far as like something new that just came out that I've had two people mention to me recently, was the fact that somebody was eating a McDonald's hamburger and they found a human tooth in the burger. So I don't know how that happened, but
Oh man, manufacturing. Come on, man. Happens all the time.
what, did someone just fall in the machine when they're getting ground up? What happened, Sean? Explain to me how that's possible that there's a human tooth in a McDonald's hamburger. I haven't eaten McDonald's in probably 8 years. I don't do fast food of any kind other than Chipotle. That's kind of like the lowest level of food that I will eat. But yeah, Sean, how do you think that's even possible that a human tooth was in McDonald's cheeseburger?
I'll just have to give a public statement that all of this is speculation and none of this is possible factual truth. But
Like our subscribers, well, probably not a subscriber, like our commenter said, we're all a bunch of idiots. So
totally,
keep that in mind.
when you put the hours of, I probably spent months of my life, which is probably not healthy, looking into a lot of this stuff. And when we're talking about the food suppliers, McDonald's supplies over a billion meals a day. I don't know how they get that much meat when you look into how many cows are available and how much soy is available out there. It's highly questionable. But, one cool thing I did learn in XRP Vegas was out of all the conversations that I had, it seemed like all of us started going down this rabbit hole. Not the McDonald's one, but down any kind of rabbit hole. And for the holders that really dive into what they're holding, for these kind of like minds to get together and to be able to talk about the mass manipulation of information that's out there, whether that be Hollywood influence or the money markets or where we live, where we are, what our meaning is. It was crazy to have the conversation with damn near everybody there going that deep. I mean, it was so cool. And I know you'd mentioned JFK, Phil, and recently we had started to dive into some of that stuff. And at this point in my life, I just have to think that everything is a fabricated lie. And until I feel like there's enough information for me to think that's okay or somewhat true, that's how I have to survive now. I can't just take everything at face value. We sit there from 5 years old, or even in the phase when Universal came out with a globe that was their whole thing. You see it in every single movie, and it's just ingrained into us. There's nothing that I don't think is like, well, that could be fake or that could be a lie, whether it's the moon landing or the food that we eat.
That's what I was about to say. I was about to say the moon landing has been something that's been triggering me a lot lately, just because it blows my mind that we haven't been back, did any exploration where we can like really see if we can get resources from it or anything like that. And we got more advanced technology now with Elon and all these other things, but we never hear about it, right? Like it's nothing there on the moon that we can build on, that we can utilize for resources to help the earth. Like it makes me really like, second guess that we ever was there. You know what I mean? It's
Well,
like, and then you
Duran,
look at the
we
movies.
lost that technology. We're talking about an entity that receives over $70 million per day. We lost that technology.
Yeah,
Somehow, some way, we can't recreate it. When they had computers less powerful than any cell phone 10 years ago, we lost it.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. And we play
My
Boo Boo the Fool
grandma
and we don't
watched
believe
it
it.
on TV, Sean.
Did she? My God. I can't believe it. Who was there recording it when they landed? That's what I have to know.
I
Like,
need to know it. I need to know how they got that still shot and how they got that camera view. The photographer was there with them in a suit there at that moment and was able to capture it.
And he stayed behind
It
to
is
take the
unreal.
video of them leaving. He stayed behind. He sacrificed his life.
Yeah.
and
but
then
somehow
don't forget,
he still talks to us all the time about how they went to the moon.
He's the man on the moon.
Well, I do think for this kind of conversation for the speculators out there and the haters out there, I do think it is a healthy way to live life is to constantly be asking the question, no matter what it is. Question everything. What could it possibly hurt? And you look at all the spiritual greats that we have writings about, whether it doesn't matter what part of the world you're from, those spiritual greats were constantly asking the questions, constantly challenging the narrative. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So here we are in this digital asset space, and we're challenging the narrative. We're asking the questions, and there will be people in the comment section that will light us up. These guys are retards. These guys are stupid. Whatever. We're asking the questions, and I'm okay with
Can't
that. I'd
believe they
rather
think the
be
moon
in
landing's fake.
I'd rather be in a curious state of mind than just
Absolutely.
going along with the sheep, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And I think that's what it really come down to. A lot of the people that we meet in the crypto space is like people, like you said, like-minded, but like they question the status quo and they curious. Like you stay curious to like the new technology, you stay curious to what could be and what could change. And when new things come out and new facts come out, you change your opinion and your narrative about it. But it's okay to do that. It's okay to learn something new and say, hey, okay, well, maybe it is this or maybe it is that, but you should question it and you shouldn't take anybody's, what they say is like the gospel. You should really do some research and dig into it yourself. And like you said, the spiritual part of it is that like you get your energy leads you to people that's like-minded, that shares the same energy. I really believe that. So,
100%.
us being on here together that's a sense of the energy that we had and how we met each other and how, we have the same goals in mind. And that kind of stuff has an impact. So the haters can hate, but it's like, you need to find you a group of people that's like-minded like you who got the same energy and do you a damn podcast and tell us what you think. And we can listen to you and we can critique it and see if we believe it, but like, you have to be able to at least express yourself in a way and be around people that's not going to knock it down and think that you're crazy because you saying what you're saying. So
Yeah.
I mean, there are literally people out there right now that are telling others like Michael Saylor knows what he's talking about. You should absolutely trust what this guy's getting into and just go with it. I mean, he's investing at every point that he could possibly invest in and telling everybody to do the same. You should trust him and just make that investment. Now we have a friend, me and Will have a friend that bought a Bitcoin where around 100 grand, just
Yeah.
bought one Bitcoin,
And he told me he's been putting $500 with every paycheck that he gets every other week into Bitcoin.
Mm.
Only Bitcoin?
Since then, only Bitcoin. So he's definitely not up on his investment right now because he was putting that 500 every other weekend when it was 120.
Now,
Sheesh.
I'm not going to hate on anybody who's going to, if Bitcoin is part of your holdings, cool. I hope it's not all of your holdings. I know a lot of people with positions in Bitcoin, and that's cool. Again, commenters were saying, maybe we weren't talking about diversity here, but, there are 12 coins on the ISO list. There are plenty of projects out there that you can just read about, spend a little bit of time learning about them and understand what they do. I think VeChain is a really cool project that tracks from seed to sale. Is that ever going to have the market cap that some of these big coins are? Big coins are? Probably not. But at the same time, their goal as a project, along with a
ROI.
few others, is to track seed to sale. I think that's awesome. Can we track all of our tax dollars? Cool. Who's going to do that? Who's going to fill that space? I'm about it. So there are going to be several coins that are doing amazing things that I would encourage, not financial advice, people to get into, including metals, whether that's real estate. You have to spread it all out because you can't have all of your eggs in one basket. That's just simply not wise, period. I feel like we're part of this generation that has understood the hustle, has understood that it takes several revenue streams just to survive. It's wise to spread it out. And if something blows up, great. And guess what? I still have 15 other investments that have the same kind of potential. So, yes, as a group here, we do encourage diversity in investment, and it's just a healthy thing to have. I don't know, that comes natural to me because I don't know, my dad always was working his ass off, same with my mom, and it's just like if you're not trying to do as many things as you can to survive, then you may get left behind. You may have I don't know, but
Yeah, I mean, the people that have all their eggs in one basket are the ones that are fearful online and the ones that complain about the price so much and complain about is it a scam, is it gonna crash? And and I love XRP and I agree. I think it's like one of my number one holdings, but diversity is key because I'm the same way. I grew up where it's like I knew how hard it is to accumulate what we have and to have it all in one basket and for that basket to fail, that can crush somebody. And that's why you see a lot of people freaking out online and stressed out is because they put all the eggs in one basket and it's like they really hope and pray that this goes up to a crazy number that they've been listening to tomorrow. And if it doesn't, they really impacted by that. So it's like people have to be educated on how they do a financial system. Like you shouldn't invest more than you can afford to lose. You shouldn't have your rent and your kids' money invested in XRP. You should have the money that you put aside that you would have bought McDonald's or went to the spa or got your hair cut. You should have that money put into XRP and accumulate it as you can. Everybody don't do that, and everybody kind of play it like the casino, and those people get wrecked, man, and that's unfortunate.
Breaking news: silver's about to break 58.
It's moving, man.
Just saying.
What is the highest number that any of y'all have heard about XRP that, you know, obviously that would change who knows how many lives, but what's the highest number y'all have heard that has just been like, "Oh, okay, it's a little bit much."
When Jimmy Val was doing the 10,000 to 35,000, man, that shit, you know how you like go to your calculator and you calculate like, oh, if I just sold 500 XRP, you know, it was one of those, and it was like, it sounds great. Like I would have loved that to happen, and you know, if it happens, then God willing, we all gonna be billionaires. But like, I thought that was like the craziest timeline for us in XRP because it was before all this stuff happened. XRP was still 48 cents, 42 cents, and we talking about this. So it was crazy. And I like Jimmy Val. I think he a cool cat. I just, you know, that was a bit much for me. A bit much.
What about you, Phil?
Yeah, literally, I was just about to say Jimmy Valley's price evaluation. I think the number was like 32,000 and change. Yeah, that was wild. Loved every second of it.
Loved it.
32.5. Trust me,
Yeah.
I plugged it in.
Yeah, man.
My 2030 guys, I think he's gonna be right. Just saying.
I was watching this guy who just, I guess his specialty is mathematics, and he was calculating, you know, what would be left in XRP some years down the road. And he said for it just to make sense for us to have longevity in this space with XRP being relevant, it would have to be 70,000 or more. And my God, if I don't want to believe that with every cell in my body.
Right.
But
I mean, you got to think like David Schwartz always say it can't be cheap, but he don't give a number. So like, what is cheap? Cheap could be $5, $10, $20, $100. Like,
Well, it's a whole new world.
you know, it's a lot. And I do think that it needs to go up in order for institutions to stabilize it. So I just don't know if 10,000 to 35,000, I would love it, but I don't know if that's my brain can't really wrap around that. Like that would just, because it's just so outrageous to me that like I just can't. I want to so bad, but I'm just like, my logical thought process is like, I just can't see it. So,
because
and I'm not
it's
saying
an
it's
old
not.
paradigm. It doesn't make sense in the
It
old
is.
paradigm. We're gonna see if a new paradigm, you know, maybe 5 years from now, all the market cap bros can laugh at us, but I have a feeling we're gonna be laughing at the market cap bros in 5 years.
Yeah, amen to that. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and if they're right, and blockchain is valued like the market cap of a stock in the S&P, you know, kudos to them. I bet I still made a better return on my XRP than they did on their index funds in that same amount of time. You know, but what I think is really interesting, what we're going to see, guys. So by our next episode, it's going to be December. We're going to move into December. Jake Claver's been really vocal about with these ETFs that we're going to have $100 XRP in December. And people want to say that that's crazy. But I mean, when you understand Jake's background, he's not someone who just would throw a number like that out for no reason. Like he's not just some dummy, like some moon boy hopium type guy. I mean, he and his family has managed significant wealth for people for decades. And his analogy, I mean, his explanation of why XRP will cross $100 before the end of this year makes sense. And I have a tendency to think that that's going to happen. So for all the haters in the comments, they can really laugh at me now because I'm going out on a limb, man. I think we're going to see 3-figure XRP by Christmas. Well, that's my favorite conspiracy.
Yes.
Like that's gonna be a happy Christmas for everybody.
I hope you're right.
I know Jay was saying a lot of stuff needs to happen, but like I think that I don't know if he was saying that Clarity Act needed to be one of those catalysts too. I can't remember if that was.
He's basically talking about the ETFs just eating up supply, and how the dark pools
strictly just the
are
ETFs
getting
and
drained.
how impact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, basically the dark pools getting drained that the exchanges pull from for liquidity, and how fast those are getting drained just from the ETFs as more of the ETFs go live this month. I don't think it had anything to do with the Clarity Act. I think that just the ETFs eating up the XRP supply can send it to 3 figures this month before Christmas. So I 100% think that's going to happen. That is my personal belief That's where I'll plant my flag as my favorite conspiracy, and let's hope it comes true.
You know, a conspiracy that I've been running around with just in my own head is the fact that we had XRP in these ETFs and how big those institutions that's coming out, and that Bitcoin is tanking around the same time that these ETFs drop. And in my brain, I'm thinking that this is all by design. They don't want XRP to win so bad that they're tanking Bitcoin to tank XRP ETFs.
Yeah, I
And I
believe
could be
that.
wrong, but that's just my conspiracy thought about that, because how in the
interesting.
hell, like that, like every time one of them drops, Bitcoin drops, like it's no news, no nothing. They start having a sell off. And it's like, that's weird to me that it's always around XRP dropping the ETF. So I don't know. It could be just coincidence, but I don't believe in coincidences. So I think it's something nefarious happening behind the
Yeah.
scenes, and we probably will never know. But
Phil,
Well,
when's
guys,
the last time you hold on before we close out? When's the last time you talked to Mr. Kimes over there?
I think I spoke to Brad. Well, I wished him Thanksgiving, and then I think I spoke to him the week prior to, no more than 2 weeks ago.
You should have him, come talk some real game over here on the Diginacci Sequence. Because, I know he's got some time. He could just like stop playing drums for a minute, come say what's up. I watch him and DAI almost every day, and it's, they've got their own take on almost about the same information, but it's healthy. It's nice to know that those guys are just real guys like us, and that that their love for the community is superior, and they're awesome. They're not bought out. They're cool as shit, and I really do enjoy listening to them every day. So Brad Kimes, he recorded one little video for my wife, so why not a 30, 50, 80-minute segment with us?
facts,
Oh,
some
I'll
real
lean
conversation too.
I'll lean on you for that, Will.
Yeah, you got it. I'll reach out to him for sure.
get him on. Send him the link for next week. See if he's
Yeah.
open on Sunday.
Yeah, hopefully his last video, Christmas Come Early, is a real thing, because
Yeah,
I feel it coming on. I mean, it's
Yeah.
only a matter of time, guys.
absolutely.
However long it takes. But yeah, for our episode where we had nothing to talk about, we talked for the longest. Our longest episode. So anyone that makes it to the end of this, guys, congratulations. We love you. We appreciate you. Leave a comment. Tell us what you liked about the show. Tell us what you didn't like about the show. Tell us if you think Sean should put a beanie back on, or if you like his luscious prince on a horse type locks. And that's it, guys. This has been a great day. It is November 30th. And what a wonderful world we live in. So with that said, guys, this is the Diginacci Sequence. Love you guys. What a great week. And we will see you next week.
There,
See you
guys.
later.